Hi everyone, happy Mother's Day. It's Sunday and I'm at 824 Libby Drive and here I am making a video because here's what happened. I decided it was going to be just flat out easier to come here and bang out a couple projects and show you a video, because what I did last week over the course of my week was to do this right here, okay? So I made a video, or several videos. I had Ben come over and help me video, and I put in this bottom piece down here. Ooh, it looks nice. And then I showed how to do this. Anyways, the video ended up being about 20 minutes, and I found out that YouTube doesn't like 20-minute videos, and I thought it might just be easier if I show you how to do something else instead. I'll split this one in half next week, and I will make it 2 videos on how to put in those balusters or spindles, boom, equally to meet code. All right, here we are. We're at that back door by the deck. Remember how we shoveled the deck off with a pickaxe? A couple people did because they had no idea that there's some Trex decking underneath. Anyways, I fixed this door. I fixed this gap right here. Listen, everyone. Ooh, it just shuts so nicely now, and the gaps are fairly uniform from top to bottom. I added some shims right there. I put in some torque screws right here to pull the door over. Those are about 4-inch torque screws. And I put a pry bar, wonder bar on the other side, push the door over to the left from the inside, suck the door over, and now it just closes just super mint. See that, how it doesn't hit? And I was troubled by that. But now the next problem is this, and it might be hard to see because it's kind of bright, but there is a little gap right there between our extension jamb and the sheetrock. Can you see that? Tough to see, but you see how that kind of rocks a little bit. It's about a 1/16 or 1/8, about an 1/8, let's say, off on the top, where it's in too far, and on the side, and then down on the bottom, it is about 3/8, okay? And if I put casing on there, it is not gonna look very good. I was looking for a piece of casing, found one. And I have a shim in the way, so it's hard to see, but if I put this on, there's gonna be a gap right there. Do you see, kind of see that, how right by my thumb, there's a gap and it rocks and it looks like dog poop, and it would get worse at the bottom. And I'm by myself right now because Ben's working on a senior symposium. And so I have to make an extension jamb. Okay, so I made an extension jamb right here. I went to the wood shop. I made an extension jamb that's about 1/8 at the top and about 3/8 at the bottom, tapered, and I put it in the joiner. First ripped it, put it in the joiner, and kind of just filleted one side, put extra pressure on one side all the way down. And now I have to cut it to length, put them in, and use a brad nailer. Okay, first I'm going to take what's called an oscillating cutoff saw, which looks like this. It oscillates. That blade goes back and forth, and I'm going to jab it in there at a little bit of an angle like that and cut that shim. Can you even see that? Cut that shim off like that. Okay, something like that, if you can see that. Okay, what I'm going to do with this extension jamb is I'm going to leave a 1/8 inch reveal all the way around. So again, it's tapered at the top. I put a pencil mark 1/8 inch up from bottom to top. It's on the floor right now, and I put a mark right. Okay, not sure if you can see it, but it's painted right there. I left an 1/8 inch reveal, 1/8 inch high on both sides. So both sides are in. I have to put that top piece in. So I cut a piece that fits in there, which is gonna be probably about 38 inches or so. And I'll put that in with our beloved brad nailer, Brad Castellini nailer. And then we're gonna get ready to case it. Okay, extension jamb is on all the way around. A little 1/8 inch on the top, 1/8 inch down to about 3/8 at the bottom, and about 3/8 to about 1/8 inch at the top. And now our next thing is casing. So again, this is casing. We bought a, what, 3¼ inch wide, nice profile, white pre-finished casing. look something like that. I make sure that this is flush to the ground down there because this is the laminate flooring we put in, you know, it seems like about a decade ago. So I am going to make a mark an 1/8 inch high. I'll show you it in a second. Okay, you can see my mark about an 1/8 inch high. Then I always put a pencil line well up at a 45-degree angle like that because I've seen kids like Isaiah and probably 20 other kids cut that angle the wrong way, the 45. So I do that one. And now I'm gonna do the other side at the same time so that I don't have to walk twice to the saw. And this being the other side, 1/8 inch high, 45 mark up well high so I don't have to lick it and get coronavirus all over it or use an eraser. And I don't know if you noticed this, but I threw some spray foam in all the way around the door because we don't want the outdoor elements like leaking in here and causing problems. Okay, my saw is still in the master bedroom because I finished casing in here. So anyways, I put the mark right there and I always put the fat part of the casing, skinny side, fat side. I always put the fat side to the rip fence right here and I make sure I save the line, exclamation point. Okay, there's my pencil mark. I ended up cutting it twice. I cut it once a little bit long, then I ever so gingerly moved it to the left so that I could get right up to that pencil line. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint the end, lick that pencil line off right there with my tongue, and then install it. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side right now. Okay, hard to do by myself, but I cut like a 42-inch piece. This is probably a 45-inch piece actually for the top of this. I 45 each side with a 45 and a 45 to match up, but once again they never match up or rarely match up. So I have this piece right here and I'm looking at just that side and I look at the reveal. It's hard to see for you guys at home, but I tweaked it a little bit and I don't think I can get it any better than that. So that side is done. That side, can you see how it's hanging over? So I'm gonna work on this one next. So I'm gonna look at it just like this. I'm gonna put it where it's supposed to go and I'm trying to do this one-handed like this. And it's gonna go probably right about there, okay? And I come over to this side. Can you see how that is a little bit high? So it's gotta end up right, see right there? It's gotta end up there. So I come back there and I look at that and what does that look like? So I have to put a pencil mark on there. Okay, I put a pencil mark on there because when I line up this right side where it's supposed to go, I put a pencil line right there at the bottom because you can see that little bit of gap right there. I want to get rid of that gap. So if I take a little bit off that 45 and I walk over to the saw, take maybe a quarter, a half degree off, and I come back and I take a look to see what it's like. But remember, it's still that long. It's still 3 inches too long, but I want to get it perfect on that left side before I cut that other part off. Okay, I took about a quarter or half a degree off that side, and then I look at this side to see how it lines up, and I think it's gonna end up being Jenny right there, okay? So I know my angle over on this side. I'm gonna lift this off now. I'm going to line up this right side now, one-handed, where that's supposed to go. I'm gonna put a pencil line right there, and then I'm gonna cut that angle to my pencil line that's not quite there yet. I'll show you in a sec. Pencil line on, that's right nuts, so to line up. And I put a pencil line right there so I know that I have to go that angle. My saw is already adjusted to the perfect degree that's not exactly 45. Walking over to the saw, cutting it maybe 2-3 times and then gonna nail her in. Okay, the last thing I'm gonna show you is you have to fasten the outside of this base, and let's just say that I put in a 2-inch finishing nail. See what happens? Can you see how that opens up? And how that, if I put 2 nails in there, boom, boom, that it would just screw it all up. So what I've learned is if I put a shim in on the back side like that, then I could cut the shim off first, which is what I did on this one. So I put a pencil mark at the top, go over the chop saw, cut it off, put it in up to this point, like right there. Carefully put it in. Then if I fasten 2 nails in there, you see how it doesn't open up? And it's just gonna look great. No one's gonna really see that. I'm gonna put a little caulk in there if you're really worried right there, but it's very seldom someone like looks at that edge right there. The most visible part is there and there, so you wanna make both those angles looking Jenny. All right. So I'm gonna put in a couple brad nails there. I'll just give you a quick tour. This is, I trimmed out that, maybe that was done before. Trimmed out that window last week, that one, still have to do that. Sink, countertop, I'll make a video on that. I ordered that piece of glass, can you kind of see that down the hallway maybe? Right there, that's for that stairway. I still gotta put that in that frame that we built down there. Troy Koski and Connor Celine, still gotta finish that front bedroom. This, of course, did that. I'll show you a video on how I did it. Trimmed out this room here. I still have to trim out the bathroom, and that still needs to get done, but I think Matt Paulson's coming. Big Matt Paulson after he gets done fishing. All right. Happy Mother's Day. This totally sucks, by the way, and I pretty much hate every minute of it, but you do what you got to do, and I'm going to go home and make a video now for the next hour or two. So enjoy. Happy Mother's Day.